Halloween season, and we are doing our top 10 scary movies. In no particular order, and these are not my only scary movies. These are my top 10 scary movies. Ones that I've seen and I've been like, oh! So here we go. Top 10 scary movies for the Halloween season. And I think I'm going to throw in some honorable mentions because there's just too many to go with top 10. Here we go. One of the top 10 scariest movies I've ever seen when I was a little kid. I was like 7 or something like that. And I saw this movie and it was about gargoyles. And in this movie, one of the things that scared me the most, not just that I had never seen some of the things that happened in this movie in any other movie before. I mean, they flipped the car over. When I was 7, I had never seen that done before. They busted through a wall and they busted through a door. Never seen the monster do that. In my day, they hid in the dark and they'd snatch you into the bushes or something like that. Nobody was supposed to know they existed. These dudes was running right through the wall. Scary. They had wings that could fly. You know, they killed a lot of people in this. But the scariest moment for me would have been the hands coming over the edge of the bed. Dude sleep. He heard something. This is what gets me. He heard something. He knew there was something there. He heard something. And he looked around and was like, I think it's time to take a nap. And he went to sleep. And then the monster, of course, was in the room and its hands went over the side of the bed and it like looked up and he looked at it. That freaked me out. When I was a kid, I got up and ran right into the darkness. I left the room because I figured, well, I don't want any parts of that. Gargoyles. Another one, Bad Moon. Werewolf movie. I'm not going to say a lot about it. It was a good movie. Werewolf. Dude leaves, comes back to visit his sister. He's a werewolf, forgets to tell her, and the family's got to deal with that business. Dog Soldiers. Probably my favorite, at this point at least, my favorite werewolf movie. Dog Soldiers. In this movie, a tactical unit goes out on what they think are practice ops. They think they're going to go out and shoot guns at each other in the night, you know, with the BFAs, with the blank things on the front of the guns, so that they're not killing each other, and they're just out there playing, right? It's a training mission. But they don't realize that another group has sent them out there to be prey for werewolves, because they want to catch these werewolves. Actually, they want to catch a werewolf. But the trick is, you know, that there's like a bunch of them. They think it's one werewolf, but there are a few. Pumpkinhead. Guy's son gets killed. It's an accident, but his son gets killed by a group of people who are visiting town, and he wants revenge. So he gets a hoodoo voodoo lady to release a demon, and she just had it lying in her basement just in case somebody needed it. He gets her to release this demon to go kill these kids. Enter Pumpkinhead, and he is killing them to death. Pumpkinhead. Rawhead Rex. Rawhead Rex, I like that movie because just like Gargoyles, Rawhead Rex was a more modern take on the I don't give a crap about people seeing me type monster. And he would come out, he would run right through a crowd of people to get somebody. You know, he transformed a priest into his acolyte by urinating on him, and it was smoking, and the priest was basically on fire. And I'm like, what? Why would you let that happen? He was a very muscular looking dude from the neck down, and from the middle of his chest up, he was like a rooster. It sounds stupid, but if you see the movie, I bet you won't watch it at night by yourself. You won't do that twice. Rawhead Rex. A movie that was really good in the beginning, and then okay in the second movie, and then progressively got worse. They're supposed to be redoing it, so let's hope. Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers, when it started out, was really good. I enjoyed it. Is it a demon? Is it an alien? Is it what kind of monster is that, man? What is that we're looking at? Eating people. We don't know. Goes through a police department and wrecks everybody. He's another one. He ain't care if people saw him or not. That's what I like. If monsters is hiding in the, in the behind the thing, and you look and he's not there, and you're like, thought I saw something. Yeah, okay. It's got a shock value, but a monster that will just walk right up on you while you're in church, and the pastor is preaching and slinging holy water, and he just walk in there and just start smacking people. That is what you got to look out for. Jeepers Creepers. I like that movie. The Thing. John Carpenter's version of The Thing. The one starring Russell. That was a good one. An alien comes to Earth maybe 1,000 years ago, gets stuck in the ice, and it's just in the ice, hanging out, just in there. It won't die. The longevity, the lack of food, the frozen tundra, none of that will kill it. It's just in there, waiting. Maybe it hibernated, I don't know. But it's just in the ice. And then these Russians go out and they dig in the ice, they accidentally free it, it gets out, kills all the Russians, kills them, and takes over their bodies, and it's like the Russians now. It looks like them. And some Americans that were, working with the Russians, trying to figure out what's going on in this particular area of the world, they had like a joint thing happening. They go to check it out. And the monster gets them. And then at the end of the movie, there's two dudes left, and both of them are thinking, are you the monster? And the other guy's like, are you the monster? And then it slowly fades to black. One of them is probably the monster. Since they're not just walking together hand in hand into the tundra, both of them are not the monster. At least one of them, maybe neither one of them, but probably one of them. And then it fades to black and you don't know what happens next. That was a good movie. Phantasm. Today, they've got movies like Slender Man and stuff like that, with the tall, thin guy. The original tall, thin guy was just, I guess he was called the tall man, actually. But the tall man was in Phantasm. He's either a demon or an alien. It's another one where they're kind of ambiguous about what he may be. He kind of looks like he's taking people to another planet, but then he kind of looks like he's an alien. I'm not for sure. But either way, he's taking humans and he's crushing them down to like these little dwarf people, and he's using them for something. They never really say what he's doing with them, but the fact that he's going to break in your house in the middle of the night and snatch you out of your bed and grind you down, that sucks. You don't want any part of that action. So he's big, tall guy. He's like 6'8" or something like that. He's slender, he's thin, and he comes into the house with these little dwarf people, and they run around and they're fighting you and stuff like that. You don't want to fight no dwarf. Not a dwarf that can fight with a full-size man. You don't want none of that. But there's a bunch of them. They're running around and stuff. And he's got this one kid that he didn't get, that he wanted to get, and he didn't get him. So for the next 4 movies, I think it was, for the next few movies, he's just chasing that kid. The kid eventually becomes an adult. He still wants him. He still wants that kid, man. So it's sort of like Jason, If you're part of that Crystal Lake thing, he's going to get you. CandyMan, you say his name too many times, he's going to show up. He is the epitome of keep my name out your mouth. Who else? Freddy. If you're part of that Elm Street crew, he's coming to get you. These particular things can set this particular monster off. And Phantasm is like that. He wanted that kid and he didn't get that kid, so he's coming to get that kid. He wants that kid for some reason. They don't really explain that either, but he wants the kid. So, kid, through his whole life, even growing up, he's got to deal with this dude. So that was a good movie. CandyMan. Don't say that too many times. Show up in your mirror, you have a bad day after that for sure. That dude, when I originally saw that movie, I was in the military, I saw that movie, and I had a room to myself. I was like, yeah, I got a room to myself. I was real happy about that. But when I saw the movie and I came home, being a full-fledged, honest to God, red-blooded prototype of manhood in the Marine Corps that I was, I saw that movie. I came home and realized I think I've got too many mirrors in my room. The original one was scary. The original one was real good. I liked the idea. They went into more depth about who he was in the next couple of movies. It was okay, but the first one was really scary. To be honest, I haven't seen the new one. I specifically avoided that one because I didn't want to ruin my vision of the original one. I was like, if they do this wrong, it'll blow it for me. But I enjoyed it. CandyMan was good. Ginger snaps. I thought that was a real good rethinking, reimagining of the werewolf story. That was really good. I enjoyed it. The werewolf bites Ginger. Ginger snaps is a cookie, of course, we all know that, but she snaps. She snaps now. She bites people, man. And it's her slow, and she didn't like bite and change into a werewolf. She got bit, and over days, maybe even weeks, she slowly changes into the werewolf. So that was cool. You know, it took some time, and her sister, who was with her, is trying to help her, you know, not change or be able to control it. She's like, no, don't eat people, Ginger, no. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. That was a good movie. Now it's time for honorable mentions. I could do 100 honorable mentions. I love horror movies. And these, today, are my top 10. But if you ask me tomorrow, I might have a completely different list. It just depends, man. I dig a lot of horror movies. But my top 10 today, that's them. Honorable mentions. VAMP. I dug that movie. Grace Jones as a vampire with those long, crazy toenails. VAMP. Love that. Like the 80s or 90s, I think. They live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, man, as a bum, basically, that comes across an alien conspiracy and gets, you know, running from the aliens, has a shotgun in his hand, ends up in a bank, and figures, well, okay, I'm gonna go with it. I know they think I'm a bank robber, I'm not. And he says probably one of the best lines in all of cinema. He says, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick beep. And I'm all out of bubblegum. And then he starts shooting people. I was like, that's epic. Wow. Then, Predator, the original Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. To be completely honest, when I saw that movie way back in the day, saw it at the theater, saw the movie, I knew there was a new Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I didn't see the trailer. I just knew there was a new Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I think I went to the theater to see a different movie and saw that and said, oh, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, Uncle Arnie, let's check that out. Did not know that there was a freaking monster from space in the movie. I was like, when I sat down and it starts off with the alien spaceship coming to Earth, I was like, I'm in the wrong theater. Have you ever done that? Go to the movie, sit down, and the beginning of the movie makes you think, this ain't Batman, or something like that. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm in the wrong movie. But then, with the greatest handshake of all time. Dug that movie. And I guess finally I gotta give it to the big three for the slashers. And they all got like regular dude names that could be your buddy. You know, Chucky, Freddy, Jason. It's just dudes' names, just regular dudes. It's not like, you know, the evil one, he who shall not be named, the purple vengeance. It's none of that. It's just regular Freddy, Chucky, Jason. Actually, I guess Michael also. So I guess it's the big four. Michael. They're just regular names. Yeah, technically he's called the Shape, but you know. Michael. Those are my Halloween horror flicks. Man, I think those are good movies. But really, that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? Now that you heard what my picks were, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport. Popcorn passport. Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.